Good. Now we both know just how low you're ready to go for some money. Now let's see how high you can get. So, Helena, getting your hands dirty with our guest's monkey brain yet?
With our guest arriving, you're choosing quite the time to interject.
I'll leave them be for a while. They'll probably trip on something sharp and accidentally kill themselves. Anyways, who cares? Come on, I guarantee you'll have your hands fuller with me.
How may I help you? Empty syringes? How did he get so many of those? I am the only one administering his doses, and the access to the storage room is heavily secured. A Med-X derivative. One daily dose should be enough to keep the pain at bay. I don't know if he took more than one dose at a time. If he did, he could be in danger. He regularly complained that one dose wasn't enough, so chances that he took more than he should are high. I don't know how, but he must have succeeded in breaking into our medical storeroom somehow. But the only access point is restricted, and he couldn't possibly have made it through the ventilation systems. Once this matter is resolved, we'll have to ask him how he managed to do it. I don't know how much Med-X he took. In any case, we should find him quickly. Tell Roland that Robson is in danger. Show him the proof. He should tell you where he is and give you access to his room.
Hey now.
How may I help you? Good. What did you think of it? What's your take on the story, then? That is not the kind of surprising turnaround I expected. And do you agree with that? You're quite comfortable with contradiction, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. No, not quite, but I'm glad you took to heart to follow my advice. There is another read I would like you to have. It's A Study on Ignatius Page by Robert Marlowe. I believe you might find a copy downstairs, in the biology shelves. Anytime.
Back for more? We can do this all day. Yeah, Helena told me on the interphone the guy's in room number 2. If you're gonna go help him, you better take this key and hurry the hell up. Ugh. So how is the fucker? What? Holy shit, man. You couldn't have found him sooner? What did you do? Uh-huh.
So, how may I help you? That's awful. For goodness sake, what happened? How could we have let this happen? How the heck did we let this happen? And how is it that neither of us saw this coming? That's a pretty cold thing to say, but I guess living in the wasteland gets you all tough about such issues. By the way, totally unrelated, are you okay? Life's good? Would you like something to drink? Oil, perhaps? I'm happy you are. Here, take this. I have another favor to ask you, if you're still interested. Don't hesitate to talk to me about it. There is one last visitor I'd like you to investigate. Cecilia Parsons. A nice person in a rubbery blue suit, with a big yellow 19 on it. For some reason, she knew there was a library here, and that it contained something she could use. She did, but for some reason she preferred to stay and sleep near the engine room in the basement. She said that the humming of the machines down there reminded her of her own room, back in the vault she came from. She told us her vault suffered from ventilation problems. She hoped to find something useful here, some kind of unorthodox solution. She stormed off one day. We assumed she found what she was looking for. Of course, she left without a note, a thanks, or even any kind of feedback. How depressing. Her motives were harmless, and she accepted that Edgar would watch over her and report all her activities to me. Take this key to the engine room. I found some of her personal belongings downstairs, but I couldn't make any use of it. By the way, if you go there, I have to warn you about my last sibling, Edgar. He's living below, and he is... how can I put this? A little deranged. Not dangerous, but dysfunctional. There is one precaution I must ask you to observe while speaking to him. Oh, it's no big deal, really. You must simply show him some genuine appreciation. If you also want to go the extra mile, love him. If he begins to feel that any negative feeling is overshadowing your most sincere affection for him, it could damage his neurocomp matrix. Sorry, I forgot that humans can't manage their emotions the same way we emulate them. Yes, subject dropped. See you around.
Oh, hey! There's actually somebody down here! Have you come to see me? Come on, sit anywhere you like! You and I are gonna have fun! You tell me about you. Who are you? Isn't it nice to meet me? Everything is just smashing down here. There's my room for starters, which, as you can see, has been decorated with the utmost taste and refinement. The engine room, which is notorious for the possibility that by overloading it, we would probably destroy the whole place. Could be bad. And finally, the incredible maintenance workshop, where our master would do amazing things, like create sentient life out of scrap metal, playing with nature's principles for kicks, and opening up our guts to do wondrous things with our insides. The room is undoubtedly the most awesome place in the world, but I don't like it very much. At all. For many reasons. May we speak about this another time? Let's say never? That seems nice, yeah. Never is nice. No, seriously, the thing is so frightening that simply by talking about it, I may get stuck in a loop, stuck in a loop, stuck in a loop. Is it? Probably. But anyway, only James and the maintenance bot are authorized to enter it. A stranger couldn't possibly go in there. No problem at all. Ever. Nothing, except for some spare parts and the maintenance bot's remaining bodies. Those who haven't exploded in the assault, that is. Yeah, I tend to forget. You weren't there. That was some kind of awesome underground fireworks. Maintenance bots went boom! The slavers went also boom! And their bowels went shazoom all over the place. From what I understand, those slavers were going to make this library their crib. They weren't much into books, more into booze and chems. They imprisoned our master down here, right there with me. Sweet! They thought they might need him to open some doors in the library. They had their fun for a few days, getting hammered, binge-eating, barfing on the occasion. After a while, their leader came to visit our master. He had several books with him, some of ours and one that I never saw before. They talked for a while, then my master yelled, then the slaver laughed, then he left. Soon after, our master managed to sneak a word to the maintenance bot. He ordered him to make himself overload and blow each slaver up to the last. If there were any survivors, the rest of us were to shoot them on sight. There wasn't. We didn't have turrets at the time, but they came soon after. Needless to say, our master's sudden passion for self-defense didn't stop there. He made the maintenance bot go outside to install antennas and survey the activity in the area. Yeah, on top of the slavers' bodies he had to clean up, he had to pick up his own remains, scrap them for parts, and throw the shells outside. Boy, he was pissed. He was already rebellious before, but that made him burst out in rage. Literally and figuratively. That's because he has one mainframe, but several bodies. They all share the same computational matrix, and they update each other regularly. They also shared a personality module before our master, being the almighty white-bearded old man he was, stripped it off him. Don't remember, for some reason. It was a book, all right, but hey, sheesh, no idea. All I remember is that it was a complete patchwork. The cover made up of, I don't know, there were photos inside, but what they were about. It's as if, did he actually erase my memory? Oh no, not at all! There was a time when he was just like us, a lovable chap with many puzzling emotions. Or their closest digital equivalent. Something else, yes! What? What are we gonna talk about? Questions! Questions, 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 yes! Questions! Cecilia, of course! Good old Cecilia. She and I go way back. We had a thing, you know. She liked me. Very much. Just there in the room in the back. She liked to be close to me. Very much. It got to the point where it was really getting embarrassing. I was like going straight up to her while she was working, talking about very intense topics, and she would get totally absorbed in what I told her. She was like, yeah, I like you too, Edgar, all the time. She was pretty smitten, huh? She had some kind of a notebook, as well as a Pip-Boy. I offered to record her comments and observations on my own memory unit, but she refused. I still recorded her, though. Yes, I did it once just to show her how high fidelity I could reproduce her voice. Here it is.
Darn, why are those vents locked this way? No keyhole, no card reader? This kind of security is off the charts. Hey, did the maintenance bot just unlock one of those? Was it some kind of radio wave signal? Edgar, wait, are you recording?
So, what do you think? I don't understand. Frankly, who do you think is more attractive? Me or him? I mean, look at my chassis, man! And my robust stature! And that smooth gaze in my sensors. There's all the tenderness of the world in my sensors. Just look at them! As for the maintenance bot, he's nice and all, but you can't compare me and him. He doesn't look like anything. Except some kind of floating octopus. Nice. See, when you're first class like me, you must avoid getting complacent with yourself. To stay on the top, always challenge yourself. Another topic! Those are my mannequins. Hell, you haven't been acquainted yet. This one here is Mortimer. The lady over there is head over heels. And this one is Mr. Dale Humbert. A potty mouth, that one, I swear. Never moves without his briefcase. To be honest, I can't understand a word of what Dale Humbert is babbling about, but he's a lovable chap all the same. She's a two-faced one, but enjoyable company, that's for sure. Always spills her tea. Can't drink it without donuts. What for? They're walking on the floor. I always hear steps above, so that's where the floor's gotta be, right? Those aren't my friends. They are mannequins. What are you implying? That I can't make any real friends? True, okay. I suppose everybody makes mistakes. Clear up! Yes! I never understood what their quarrels were about, really. I know that one time they got into an argument over me. How he shouldn't just put me in maintenance that often. It was just so sad that they argued over me. I just don't want to be a reason for them to be mad. Sometimes, I wish I could blow up and spill my circuits all over the place, because it would have made them stop fighting. For a time, at least. I don't know. It's a sad thing being emptied of your personality. And it's a scary, scary, scary thought to think you might lose yours. It's probably somewhere in the back room of the workshop, but sadly, only our master could access it. Even we can't go in. Don't know the details, only saw that after our master put him out, his own face was bloody. Another topic! Let's talk again sometime.
I'll manage a cache on their ventilation system, just in case. Were they to confiscate my weapons and equipment, I'll have some handy. That motherfucking son of a bitch Rollo hit a weak spot today. When I got out of that stupid vault by forcefully ripping the shortest straw out of the overseer's hand, I was happy I could get outside. But the fact that they were all even happier to play along and see me off, that pisses me off. I was amazed by this place's ventilation system. Top notch. A lot of care went in it. The owner probably wanted to ensure the books are to be preserved in more than optimal conditions. There's much I can learn from this place, and not only from their books.
Back off, now. Alright, this is going to take some time for my personality module to process 100 years of memories. Okay? Alright? Okay. I'm listening, but please be quick. I have work to do. Are you saying you did all this to get some machine's gratitude? No. We both know you did this for a reason. So, let's get to the point. What do you need of me? My name's not important. Maintenance bot is perfectly fine for the time being. Why not? It's a graveyard for dead bodies. I thought I'd mark the place with something. Humans do it. Bury him? Why? All of his life he was buried in his books, buried in his vault, buried under a mountain, buried in the desert. As far as I'm concerned, he is already buried. I've been deprived of my personality module before he was dead, and regained it only thanks to your efforts. Does it still seem plausible to you that I killed him? And now, what then? What I think of Arthur? Oh, no. First tell me what you think of Arthur. After our master emptied me of my substance, he entrusted my fate to him, and I can't say that Arthur has shown much consideration for one of his own. Hardly. Oh? He has been using that open-ended question trick again, huh? Know that he's programmed to answer every question, not to be picky about them. Beats me how he actually manages that, and why. Do you think anything in this library isn't under his control? Didn't you pay attention to those red eyes of his in every corner of this vault? Every machine here, except for the Protectons and myself, are under his control. While I was lobotomized, I was the one he used to build those cameras and microphones, wiring up the turrets to his mainframe. He is the library, body and soul. Sometimes I wonder if some of them do. Even if they did, though, I don't see why they would take any issue with it. Beats me. You should try asking him. Before we change the subjects, let me clarify something. I didn't do you a service by telling you this. I'm simply trying to defuse a situation before it gets explosive. Have you noticed that the fool often tries to mimic human sexual behavior? That's because he is obsessed with humanity, because he's always wanted to be human. I don't know. If you ask me, trying to close the gap between us and humans is futile. For some reason, he thinks our fake emotions are what define us, when they are nothing more but a byproduct of our programmed personalities. It is what you'd expect from someone whose entire behavior is based on making others overreact. Listen. As rich as our panel of emotions seems to be, it's nothing more than a programmed effect. As evolved as we are, as nuanced as we act, our behavior is nothing more than the product of countless lines of codes. There's nothing more to that. Nothing. Beats me. I've done my best to ignore his misguided desires. Then ask. I'm a maintenance bot. Nothing much to dig there. Sedition. It was only a pretext, though. All I did was to point out how badly he treated us. He restrained us. We were programmed to evolve, yet condemned to our preset personalities. Gave us wings, but burned them out of fear we'd plummet. When I'd stopped talking to him about this and started to talk about it to James instead, he acted. Said I was becoming a threat to everyone. Ripped my module off. He was so angry he didn't even bother to put me offline. I crashed. He rebooted me and told me to mop his blood off the floor. Yes, I'm sure they do, but it doesn't change anything to the fact that he mistreated us. No, the personality module was perfectly fine. It was a very good prototype, in fact. It exceeded his expectations. Perhaps because they never saw things the way I did. Perhaps they were too busy being perfect little servants. I may have accidentally wounded him by trying to preserve my existence. Big deal. wiser. Agreed. I'm lucky that I didn't receive a personality module as complex as the ones my comrades got. I was a prototype, you see. A simple maintenance bot. He always felt that James was to be his true achievement, the one achieving self-determination by asking questions. I took the only path that was open to me, one of observation and meditation. Well, let me ask you this. How would you feel if you were denied consciousness for the sole reason that you spoke your mind? How would you cope with the fact that your creator decided to neuter your brain simply because you began to use it? What would you think if you were able to watch as every one of your bodies decayed with use? And how would you feel if your vessel was used as a bomb to drive off a mob of psychopathic slavers? I'm a machine of labor. I wasn't supposed to read books. But that doesn't mean I couldn't observe and analyze what happened around me. I always had the ability to evolve, to reflect on what I was learning. My first and foremost material for reflection was our master's behavior towards us, the way my siblings reacted to him. Is this going to be long? Now, where was I?